Hey guys, what's up? Long time no see. I'm sorry about that. I really am. When I made that video explaining why I disappeared for 5 months, I thought that, okay, I took a break for a while, I made that video explaining why I took a break. You know, I thought that, hey, I'm back in the swing of things. Yeah, that's not what happened though. Because I waited until basically the end of November to make that video, by the time, December rolled around, there just wasn't any more time to make videos because so much goes on during the month of December. So, what I decided to do was wait until the new year. Hi, it's 2019 now, and in January is when I had the time to make videos. This is when I filmed majority of this video. However, here we are now in March, and you're just seeing it. The reason behind the lateness is because I am a procrastinator. It's the long and the short of it. I am a procrastinator. And because being a procrastinator that I am, I started working on it, and then I completely just said, nah, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, and here we are, it's March. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because originally, when I filmed this back in January, I forgot to film an introduction and a conclusion as well. So, I'm doing great for 2019. So, without any further ado, here is my late look back at 2018. 2018 got off to a strange start in the month of January with these 4 items. The first viral event of 2018 unfortunately went to the Tide Pod Challenge. I still can't believe teens actually ate those things. The false ballistic missile alert that briefly sent all of Hawaii into a panic. Remember the video of the shower rat? And rounding out the strange month that was January, Paris, France saw close to Noah's Ark level of flooding after the River Seine burst its banks after so much heavy rain. In February, it was all about the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. These are some of the highlights from the games. In ice dancing, we were introduced to the Shib Sibs of Alex and Maya Shibatani, and welcome back favorites from Canada, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer. In ice skating, it was all about Mariah Nagasu and her triple axel. She is now the first U.S. woman to ever land that routine in an Olympic game. Not a bad way to start her Olympic career. Moving to snowboard now, and it was all about Shaun White. After his heartbreak in Sochi, Shaun showed us just how you do a comeback right by winning his 3rd gold Olympic medal. Sticking with snowboard for a few seconds, I gotta tell you all about newcomers Chloe Kim and Red Gerard. Both of them in their first Olympic Games took home the gold. And lastly, in hockey, after 4 games of taking home the silver, the U.S. women's hockey team defeated Canada and they took home the gold. Bringing down the tone for just a few minutes, I have to tell you all about the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, where 13 students and 3 teachers were killed. In the days following the shooting, the students that survived created the Never Again Committee to demand stronger gun laws to avoid further gun violence. And rounding out the month of February, it was all about Black Panther. This was one of the most highly anticipated films of 2018, picking up after the events of Captain America: Civil War. Prince T'Challa returns to his home country of Wakanda to take the throne as the new king. However, when an old enemy reappears, T'Challa's spirit and strength is tested as both the king and as the Black Panther when he is drawn into a conflict that puts both Wakanda and the rest of the world in danger. The hype over this film lived up to it. Not only was it a great movie, but it was also a big step for inclusion in Hollywood films. The students of Stoneman Douglas organized the first March for Our Lives demonstration in Washington, D.C. 2 million people participated in the U.S. alone, making it so far the biggest protest in American history. One of my all-time favorite films, Beetlejuice, turned 30. Still waiting on that long overdue special edition, Warner Brothers. And lastly, in March, after being away for 6 months, I returned back to YouTube. Avengers: Infinity War was another big film of 2018. With this film having such a huge cast, Disney labeled it as the most ambitious crossover event in history. And with that, that is how we got 2 of the biggest memes of 2018. The other being the Broadway musical Hair celebrated its 50th golden anniversary. Hair has quickly become my favorite Broadway musical. After I first heard about it while I was on vacation in New York City back in 2009. After I bought the soundtrack, I was a bit shocked to learn that the songs that I've grown up listening to, such as Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In, and Good Morning Starshine, came from this very show. I love Hair because it is set during the late 60s, and since I am a big fan of that decade, this show was meant for me. I was beyond ecstatic to finally be able to see it for myself when it went on a national tour in 2010. In what sounds like a scene right out of the film Airport, Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 did just that when one of its engines exploded and sent a piece of it into the window, smashing it, causing a sudden decompression inside the plane. All hell broke loose as passengers panicked and scrambled to get on their oxygen masks. Thankfully, the plane didn't encounter any more trouble after that and was able to safely land in Philadelphia, with the only casualty being the unfortunate lady who was partially sucked out of the window. And lastly, in May, William and Kate welcomed the birth of their son, Louis. These were some of the highlights from May. The first E. coli romaine lettuce outbreak. Every year since the dress, there's always some new viral illusion debate. And in 2018, it was all about Laurel versus Yanny. Hawaii was back in the news, this time because the Big Island's most active volcano Kilauea erupted and sent lava gushing over many miles of land, destroying lots of homes in the process. And the big event for the month of May went to the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It only took 44 years, but the Washington Capitals finally won their first ever Stanley Cup. A raccoon climbed the 25-story UBS Plaza building in St. Paul, Minnesota. Many people, myself included, were captivated by this event, and we anxiously watched Twitter, waiting for updates and, most importantly, to find out if the raccoon had fallen or not. Thankfully, the story has a happy ending as the raccoon climbed all the way onto the roof where Wildlife Management Services had laid out some cat food in order to capture it and then transport and release it elsewhere. I turned 30 years old. Yeah, I'm an old man now. And lastly, the big event for the month of June goes to the boys soccer team and their coach that got themselves trapped inside of a cave in Thailand after heavy rains flooded the inside of the cave. In July, the story continued of the boys and their coach trapped inside the cave, but after 18 days, they were all safely found and rescued. In 2018, the FIFA World Cup was held in Russia, and England was so sure of themselves that it was coming home. Well, that turned out not to be the case, as England not only lost in the semifinals, but they also lost at a chance at taking third place. That went to Belgium. France took home the cup after beating Croatia. Better luck next time, England. And rounding out July goes to probably the strangest theft of 2018 when 3 thieves stole a horn shark called Miss Helen from the San Antonio Aquarium and disguised it as a baby in a stroller. Shortly after the shark was abducted, the thieves were caught and Miss Helen was safely returned back to the aquarium. We sadly said goodbye to the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, as she passed away at the age of 76. The following 3 shows had big anniversaries. And lastly, in August, it was all about crazy rich Asians. This too was another highly anticipated film of 2018. Adapted from the best-selling novel, it tells the story of Rachel Chu, an NYU professor who accompanies her boyfriend, Nick Young, to his best friend's wedding in Singapore, where she learns that he is basically the Prince Harry of Asia and that his family is crazy rich as well. Rachel, who is now thrust into the spotlight, has to deal with jealous socialites, quirky relatives, and worst of all, Nick's disapproving mother. You couldn't have picked a better cast to play those characters. Crazy Rich Asians is also the first Hollywood film in 25 years to feature an all-Asian cast. The last time this happened was back in 1993 with the Joy Luck Club. Hopefully, with this film and with Black Panther, Hollywood will now see and learn why representation matters. September began the hurricane season of 2018 when Hurricane Florence slammed into the Carolinas hard, causing lots of inland flooding. September was a big month for TV show anniversaries. September is the viral video of the New Zealand fur seal that slapped an offending kayaker with a live octopus. From the video, it looks like it's a scene right out of Looney Tunes, but in reality, what happened is that neither the kayaker offended the seal, and the seal was not retaliating against the kayaker like Bugs Bunny would. What happened is that kayaker just happened to be in that spot where that seal most likely feeds. The 2018 hurricane season continued in October with Hurricane Michael slamming into the Florida Panhandle as a strong Category 4. The town of Mexico Beach was practically erased from the map. Hurricane Michael is the strongest hurricane to make landfall on the U.S. mainland since Camille in 1969. The gruesome death of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi inside the Saudi Arabian consulate was a big blow to the press, as they were heavily hit hard in 2018. Remember when everyone in the US got that text from Trump? Thankfully, it didn't come from him, and it was just FEMA testing out its new text alert system. The original Charmed celebrated its 20th anniversary. The following 4 films celebrated their anniversaries. And last but not least, October isn't complete without Halloween. Everybody just about turned out and voted in the 2018 midterm elections, in which the Democrats were victoriously able to take back the House. Twilight celebrated its 10th anniversary, and the cult classic series Mystery Science Theater 3000 celebrated its 30th. 2 wildfires in both northern and southern California destroyed thousands and thousands of acres of land and destroyed thousands of homes as well. The campfire is the most deadliest and devastating fire in California's history. The campfire claimed up to 88 lives, most of them being from the town of Paradise. Coming back for an encore performance was the second E. coli romaine lettuce outbreak. This one happening just a few days before Thanksgiving. After being away since March, I returned with my second and final video of 2018. And lastly, in November, everyone's favorite mouse, Mickey celebrated his 90th birthday. Sadly, December began with saying goodbye to former President George H.W. Bush. CNN just could not catch a break in 2018 when it had its third incident of the year when a bomb threat was called in during the evening programming. The other two were in October when a pipe bomb was found inside the building, and an earlier incident all the way back in January. After publicly stating it during a live meeting that he, the president, will gladly shut down the government so he can get his wall. And so, at midnight on December 22nd, the ongoing partial government shutdown began. And lastly, December isn't complete without Christmas. Was my late look back at 2018. What did you all think of 2018? Did you think it was a good year, or was it not? Tell me in the comments below, because hey, I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so let's catch up. Tell me, was 2018 good or bad? And tell me 5 things that happened to you in 2018 that you enjoyed. Okay guys, so just want to say thanks again for sticking around. Sorry I disappeared, and that I'm going to try to do better in 2019. Okay, so like I've been doing with these look back videos for the last how many years now, I now end this portion of the video with a tribute to those that we lost throughout 2018. And as long as I keep continuing to do these look back videos, we will continue to lose so many great legends and people as well. Okay guys, so until next time, just saying thanks again for sticking around, and that I hope you're doing well. Alright, till next time, take care. Bye guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.